So this is very interesting, right? Every time when I wish people good afternoon, good morning, people actually wait so that the person who's sitting next to them should greet that person, right? And the space that I operate in, we work only in silence. So my name is Gaurav Arora. I'm from Delhi. I run an organization called Ericsson Coaching International. We are into coach certification. At the same time, I run an initiative called I Own. It's coaching for social entrepreneurs and social development sector. So may I have a quick check, where all do you guys work? Do you work with all the people who are into social development? Can I have show of hand? Beautiful. Corporates? Business? Anything else? Others? Students? Beautiful. Thank you for sharing this. Let me just quickly share with you the story of I Own. I've been in the space of leadership development for almost like now 11 years. And every time when I go to any of the organization and I ask people, given a choice to you, would you continue doing what you're doing already right now? I'll repeat my question. Given a choice to you, would you continue doing what you're already doing right now? What do you think? What was the answer? Yes, you would like to do more of? Yes? No? So amazingly, right? Whether you are talking to doctors, you're talking to engineers, you're talking to CAs, or you're talking to the scientists, 8 out of 10 people will tell you no. Very interestingly, we'll go back to them again after 1 year, and I'll start my session with the same question. Given a choice to you, ladies and gentlemen, would you continue doing what you're doing already right now? And the answer remains the same. 8 out of 10 people would say no. Now, the interesting part is, these 8 people are now working with some other organization, and they're not happy there as well. And I did some more research around that, why people are not happy doing what they're doing when they're actually earning a lot of salaries and they're moving from Microsoft to the Dells to the Apples and the Adobes of the world. And that was the genesis that actually led to the formation of I Own. So I Own is an initiative where we connect coaches with social development sector. Why? Because given a choice to you, if you're not happy doing what you're doing already, what are you waiting for? And that was more or less the same pattern when I said, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are waiting for somebody else. A voice will come from the universe, say, hey, good morning, good afternoon, speaker. So I Own stand for that I own, I take a stand for the cause that I stand for. So whether it's social entrepreneurship, or it's women empowerment, or it's no poverty or no hunger, or children development, we need to take a stand for what we stand for, right? Now, let me just talk to you about what coaching for social development, what we talk about. So let me just quickly share the principles of coaching, and I really loved, people are wearing the t-shirts, they are saying that problems start with they, and the solution starts with I. So what we're going to talk about is how coaching could be used to create solution for the people that we are working with. Interestingly, I was talking in the morning when I came here, I was talking to a few of the entrepreneurs, and I was just trying to understand the basic challenges that these people are facing. Satya Narayanan, CEO, the chairman of CL Education, he said, entrepreneurship is not what you see from outside. It's full of challenges. It's full of struggles. It's very unlike what is visible from outside. I said, makes sense. So then what are we here for? What are we doing? What are we trying to create when we are talking about I Own? So we believe that we all have solutions within us. So there are 4 principles that we believe in. It talks about people already have all the resources that they need. Every behavior is useful in some context. So here, one word which I would like to focus more on is context. Self-directed learning and solution focus. So I'll keep coming back to all these 4 principles. Let me just show you one slide. Okay, here is the slide. Is it visible to all of us? No? So can you change the font? I'll just read it for all of you, and let's see if it makes sense to us. It says, newspaper is better than magazine. A seashore is a better place than a street. At first, it is better to run than to walk. You may have to try several times. It takes some skill, but it is easy to learn. Even young children can enjoy it. Once successful, complications are minimal. Birds seldom get too close. Rain, however, soaks in very fast. Too many people doing the same thing can also cause problems. One needs a lot of room. If there are no complications, it can be very peaceful. A rock will serve as an anchor. Just go back to the last slide. So, does it make sense? What this slide talking about? What is this slide talking about? Is it making sense? Even I can be silent. No, I'm very comfortable with silence. Yes, sir. Is it making some sense? No? Okay, so let's move to the next slide. No, the last one. Now read it once again. Let's see if it makes sense. It says, a kite is a newspaper is better than a magazine. A seashore is a better place than a street. At first, it is better to run than to walk. You may also have to try several times. It takes some skill, but it is easy to learn. Even young children can enjoy it. Once successful, complications are minimal. Birds seldom get too close. Rain, however, soaks in very fast. Too many people doing the same thing can also cause problems. One needs lots of room. If there are no complications, it can be very peaceful. A rock will serve as an anchor. If things break loose from it, however, you will not get a second chance. Now does it make sense? So what is the difference between the first one and the last one? The kite. So what is the role of a kite here? The sentence is absolutely the same. I've just added one word here. What is the difference? Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's something that we can refer back to. Is that what you're saying? Okay. The concept is clear, okay? Kite flies against the wind, okay? What is the difference? What I'm trying to ask you is, the slide is absolutely the same. I've just added one word to that. You've got an object. Who said context? Context, fantastic. What do you mean by context? Okay, so what you're saying is a boundary that you add to simplify something. Okay, thank you for bringing this word. Sir, एक और mic मिल जाएगा?
Basically, the first paragraph were just different lines. Okay, they're like, a newspaper is better than a magazine is a standalone line in itself. But when you've written kite over there, it means when you're making a kite, a newspaper paper is better than that of a magazine. A seashore, because the wind is blowing there, better than a street, it's better for a kite. So you can all relate it to one. The context here is for the kite, not for every sentence to be on its own. So that's the difference, I guess.
Beautiful, thank you. So we are talking about a context. Let me just share with you the metaphorically, the metaphor that comes to my mind when I think of a context. So what you spoke about, a boundary, a metaphor that comes to my mind is a context is like a thread that keeps all the beads together. So if you look at all these sentences, They were not making any sense. The moment I added a word kite, it's making a lot of sense. Yes, no? Let me ask you a very simple question. What is your context of life? How many social entrepreneurs are here? Most of us, and the rest are either students or from corporate arena. A very simple question from you. What is your context of life? What is that one thread that's keeping everything that you're doing, whether you're talking to your sister, whether you're talking to your mother, whether you're talking to your family, or you're doing something great, something phenomenal in the world that you're a part of, right? What is that common thread in your life? What is your context? Happiness, okay?
Be positive.
Be positive, okay? New and different, okay? Tide. Kite. Children. Okay, what else? No context. Passion. Learning, okay? Ambition, okay? Okay? My own satisfaction. A voice came from this side. Commitment, okay? Never give up. Impact. What do you think if I am going to ask the same question from Guru Raj Deshpande, what would be his response?
Only he can give that.
Yeah, but what do you think? What would be his response? Change? Empowerment? What else? Social well-being, okay? I'm just wondering, so many beautiful words are coming from all over. What is the difference from one person who has got one context and another person who has got another context? What is the difference between most of us and Mr. Guru Desh Deshpande? Let me ask you another question. At the cost of being on the spotlight, what is the difference between what Reliance is doing and what Tatas are doing?
Tata is doing good. Reliance is bad.
Okay. Beautiful. Highly ambitious. Thank you so much. Let me share my own story with you. The story of I Own, the seed was sown exactly 3 years back on the same platform in Hubli. So I'm from the space of leadership development. We certify people to become coaches. When people come to me and they ask me the same question, like, Gaurav, don't you think that you are actually creating competition for yourself? And my answer is yes. And I said, but at the end of the day, I'm making money. How does that matter? 3 years back, I was speaking on the same platform in Hubli, and that's where I met Mr. Guru Desh Deshpande. And I met this guy. All of you have seen. Have you all seen Mr. Guru Desh Deshpande? Right? He's of this height. Almost like 3 inches. I'm taller than him, 3 inches. But when I stood in front of him, I was sulking. Why? Because I've got 3 inches extra height than him. So I was thinking that, is there any possibility that I could stand just 2 inches shorter than him so that I can look metaphorically up? Here is this guy who is running an IT organization, which so many people are running. What is the difference between other people and him? Is nothing else, is not the acumen, is not the intelligence that he comes up with, but the context that he's operating from. And that shifted something in me. So here's this gentleman, Gaurav Arora, who's doing reasonably well in the space of leadership development 3 years back, but was operating from a space of competition. Now, every trainer, every consultant, every coach was my competition. And I said, if a person at that stature can do something from the context of service, what's stopping me? And that was the genesis why we started I Own. And I Own, as I mentioned to you, what I worked on myself, I just shifted my context. So rather than operating from the context of competition, I said, how would that be in case I can operate from the context of service and collaboration? So once again, let me just come back to you. What is your context? Fashion. Passion. Tell me one thing one area in your life that you're not passionate about. Is there any one area where you're not passionate about? That's a motherhood statement, sir. I really respect that. My question is, what is that one area where you're not passionate about? Group learning. Growth learning. Okay. Okay. We have all shared one context that we operate from. I can guarantee you there are areas where we are not operating from that area, from that context. And that is the growth which is actually waiting for us. So when I said that I want to operate from a space of service, I knew that I'm not operating. And that's where I started challenging myself. That is where I challenged myself, and I realized that despite the fact that I'm into leadership, coaching, and development, I'm not being true to my own self. So I'll go out in the market and I'll talk about leadership development, but I'll not spend enough time with my own team. And then I will challenge them. That one conversation shifted everything for me. So I'm going to leave you with the first question, and before we move on, revisit your context as social entrepreneurs. What is my context? And what could possibly be my context that could possibly take me to the next level? Shall we move on, sir? All right, so this is the wheel of an entrepreneur which we use, which most of the social entrepreneurs that we deal with. So may I request you, do you have a paper and a pen in your hand? A paper and a pen? So if you can just draw a wheel for yourself. Just draw a wheel for yourself. And divide the circle in the form of a pizza. So just convert the circle into a form of a wheel. And that's your wheel as a social entrepreneur. Are we done? Okay. Now, in each pie, write down the important areas of you being a social entrepreneur. Just write down. So, for example, for me, it could be my idea. It could be my team. It could be my funds. It could be my stakeholders. It could be my ability to bring the systems and the processes in place. It could be anything. Just write down the 8 critical and important areas from your own life as a social entrepreneur. And once you're done, the center being 1, and the circumference being 10, on a scale of 1 to 10, if you have to score yourself in all those 8 areas, well, what would you score yourself? So for example, let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm at level 5 in terms of area, in terms of my idea. On a scale of 1 to 10, in terms of my team, I'm satisfied at level 7. Just draw for yourself. How satisfied are you in that area? Funding, ideas, stakeholders, connectivity, network, marketing, promotion. What are the important areas from your own life as social entrepreneur? And scale yourself. Your map is clear. Just look at that and see, what do you think? What is that one area you need some improvement on? What should be the focus area for you for next 6 months? Growth of income, okay. What else is coming? Growth of income, okay. What else is coming? Who would like to share? Establish something to serve others. So that's the context. That's the context, okay? Anyone else? Pace, okay? So shall we move to the next slide, sir? So these are a few of the questions. May I request you can just write it down and revisit these questions whenever you get time. The first question is, what's the most critical part of this wheel for you? Which one or two areas you would like to focus on? Tell me a little more about that and what else. Just ask yourself, which one area or two areas you would like to focus on and why? If you could move that one or two notch higher, what would that mean to you? And what's that one thing if you could do that would transform everything you in that area? So when you're talking about the pace of income, what would shift for you in your own life in case you can increase the pace of your income? Okay. Depends on circumstances. Beautiful, thank you. Okay. So that's the kind of work that we are doing. Now let me just share a case study with you that we are already working with Deshpande Foundation. So currently we are working with 23 change makers from Deshpande Foundation. So where we have a set of 11 people working one-on-one these people. And where we are bringing a shift in their own areas. So for example, somebody is working with farmers, right? Or somebody is working with other change makers. So we work with those people to help them develop one areas or two areas from their life. So given a choice to you, which is that one area that you would like to develop in your own life? Given a choice to you, what is that one area that you would like to stand for in your life? So these are the few of the questions that we do, and that's what we do. So that's about a quick introduction to ION. It's a social platform that connects social entrepreneurs and coaches. So we are working with corporate leaders, coaches, and change makers. So you all are change makers. And if you think that any good certified coach can actually help you, please feel free to reach out to us. We'll be happy to provide you any assistance. So the complete program is a 6 months program, where you'd be assigned with one certified coach, either from the corporate arena or from the business entrepreneurship already, who's already existing, doing some work. And we'll be happy to provide you an automated platform that could help you to look at the kind of growth that you are making in one area or two areas. So my personal request to you is own it with ION. Thank you so much. Any questions, you're most welcome to ask me, and I'll be happy to answer in case I know. So thank you. Any questions? It's not there, okay? So it's 98-100-88509. I'll be happy to give it to you, sir. Thank you. So thank you so much. Okay, number. Okay, 98-100-88509. Thank you.